President, I rise today as I have in the past and will continue to do until we find a resolution to this issue. I rise to advocate for a solution to address the issue of securing our border and protecting those young immigrants impacted by an uncertain future in the DACA program. Last month, I offered legislation to extend DACA for 3 years and to provide 3 years of increased funding for border security, this so-called 3-for-3 plan. Unfortunately, some of my colleagues have repeatedly chosen to block this measure from coming to the floor. But the President's decision to send National Guard troops to the border displays a continued interest to secure the border and to take care of that aspect. This bill would provide significant resources to do just that, to help secure the border, at the same time protecting these young immigrants from possible deportation. I'm the first to admit that this solution is far from perfect, but it provides a temporary fix for these critical problems and will provide all sides of the debate with just enough of what they want. It is a compromise. It would begin the process of funding the President's plan to improve border security and, as I mentioned, ensure DACA recipients won't lose protections and face possible deportation. Now, these young immigrants were brought here through no fault of their own. They've waited long enough for these protections. Likewise, border communities, like in my home state of Arizona, have waited long enough for increased security along our southern border. As I've said before, we in Congress have too regularly confused action with results and have been entirely too comfortable ignoring problems that are just actually tough to solve. We may not be able to deliver a permanent solution to these problems at this time, but we now have an opportunity to offer at least some action on them. There are many people whose lives and well-being depend on our ability to deliver meaningful results. Therefore, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to immediate consideration of calendar number 300, H.R. 1551. I further ask that the Flake substitute amendment at the desk be considered and agreed to, the bill be amended, be considered read a third time, and passed, and that the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.